Hello dear internet wanderer, welcome to Weird is the Best channel. I'm Kama, I also go by Weird is the Best and I'm a mixed media artist in England and I love sharing my sketchbooks. In this sketchbook tour you can expect lots of different types of art, lots of inspiring and uninspiring pages. I think those are equally important. I went through an art blog in this sketchbook. I will also share some inspirations, cuts and all the things that make me tick as an artist. Also, don't forget to like this video and maybe leave a hype if you can see the hype button. It really helps my channel if you do. And let's get into the sketchbook tour. Let's go. This one is Art Creations by Royal Talents or Talents, and it's a mixed media sketchbook with 160 pages or 80 sheets inside. And yeah, I'm excited to show you what's inside. The sticker is by Wild Pencil Art, and this one's by Fiona Stabler. And these are also by Wild Pencil Art, and this one's my latest sticker design. My name is Kama, and you guessed it, I'm the sponsor of this video. You can, if you'd like to, you can support my shop by going to the link in the description. And yeah, this is the sketchbook. I started it on the 15th of December 2025 and I finished it on the 23rd of March. This is cute cat and I'm covering my details here just because there's my personal information on it. And I like to start, when I remember, I like to start my sketchbooks with an encouraging thought or an intention for the sketchbook. So this one says, oh, new sketchbook. Ooh, new sketchbook, yay, be free and have fun in here. And I try to live by it. I love working in sketchbooks, and the reason I love working in them is that I'm not too precious. I draw whatever comes to my mind, and sometimes I plan it, sometimes I don't. But I just want to enjoy working in my sketchbooks. So there will be a lot of pages like this, where they're very unfinished, very kind of doodly and sketchy. And I think that's what's great about sketchbooks. And we don't always see that from other artists. I can take that out now. And here I made a note of a bookshop somewhere in Japan. It's just this epic bookshop. And I think I drew drinks, and then my backpack. I think it must have been when I was out somewhere. I don't even remember where I was, but I like documenting what I see in front of me. I think it's a great practice. You will never run out of things in front of you. There's literally always something, even if it's not the most interesting thing. Just drawing it kind of helps you train your eye, and if it's boring, it's even better. And yeah, I drew a Christmas tree. I don't even know why, because maybe it was just before Christmas. I stuck some stickers from I like buying from small businesses, and this one's from Pin Clothing. Here is an example of, doesn't really have anything quote unquote good on this page, but I sometimes get through a day like that, and I think that counts. I still drew. This is from a photo I think I took. And yeah, some doodles. Sometimes I go back to these illustrations that I'm comfortable with. Here I try to reproduce a very loose sketch of a frog because I liked how it turned out. Yeah, it's kind of a nothing page, a bit of doodles, and I have lots of these in my sketchbook, like these. I might have been sketching out ideas to maybe potentially turn them into paintings or stickers. I like this way of working, it's a brain dump sort of thing, trying out different expressions, trying to make them as grumpy as possible. Again, redrawing some older doodles. Here's a parallel pen by Pilot. I really like using it from time to time. Various inks and fountain pens. This sketchbook isn't the best even though it's smooth, for some reason it makes my pens scratchy, so I stopped using my fountain pens in the sketchbook. Here I was trying to come up with things to draw. Another sticker from Independent Business. This one's from Jess Was Here, her new logo. I really love her clothes and everything. I'm actually wearing something by her right now. And Here's a movement from memory. I couldn't remember what their feet look like. And this is already in January. So it was a slow start to the year with my sketchbook. Here I joined a free online urban sketching course and made a note of all the materials and like, yeah, I think this is mostly materials from that course. And this is the fountain pen. It's Kakuno. It's like a beginner's or children's fountain pen, but I eventually bought it because I heard good things about it and I wanted a pen that I wasn't too precious about. And I really like it. It's very smooth and very easy to write with, which is great for drawing. Some doodles. I keep drawing frogs, I keep drawing cats and swans. And yeah, more swans and cats and frogs, as always. And a whale shark. And more. This was a page where I didn't really feel like I didn't like it at the time, but I like celebrating ugly pages. Just check. Yep. It's all good. And I even said, ugly page, yay, I'm trying something new and weird. So this was after I discovered, well, a few things happened, and it's a weird like coincidence, accidents, I don't know. I went to a workshop and someone asked, oh, can anyone guess who this artist was inspired by? And I just started Googling for artists that were around that time. And I was trying to come up with the most like weird suggestion. And I discovered this artist called Paul Klee. He was, I think, a German artist who tried not to copy any or like follow any art trends and kind of isolated himself for the first bit of his art life. And then over time he kind of opened up a bit more to existing like art styles at the time. And this was just a random doodle inspired roughly by one of his drawings. Like I looked at some surrealistic pieces, and I know it's boring, like I know this page is boring, but it meant a lot to me because it kind of unlocked, like looking at this artist unlocked a lot in me. And he was thought of as an artist who, if you try to copy him, you didn't learn much from him. That someone said that in a book about him. And if you just absorbed his work and got loosely inspired by his work, if that makes sense, you kind of learned a lot from it. And that's exactly the process I went through. It really lit up my brain and got me more experimental. And that's nothing to do, like he didn't do anything like this at all. He did just random things that were coming off random things. And this followed on. Again, just playing and seeing where it takes me without like overthinking anything. Here I was just trying different letters and styles of writing. I kind of like lettering and I think I should go back to it a bit more because it's so useful as an illustrator to have this in your toolkit. And here's another, so this kind of started everything, and then this page followed on. So I was just trying to be more mathematical, I don't know, like analytical in this. So I started with this line and like those wider bits, and then I tried to add a different kind of line each time, and then I tried to add a line that changed as it met other lines, that kind of thing. And I sort of was like, okay, I think that's enough, I'm good, and carried on to the next page, which was this. And I'm really happy with this. I really like how it turned out. I love this sort of, it reminds me of neurons, of like connections in our brains, or maybe nervous system or something like that. It just made me happy. It was quite a tedious piece to make because it was quite a scratchy pink Kakuno pen on this paper. I still really enjoyed it. It was very meditative, very sort of it wasn't automatic because I had to think where the lines were going, but it, in a way, I don't know, it was meditative and intuitive rather than planned. And then this one followed on, and I really enjoyed this way of drawing. It kind of reminds me of water, like a swimming pool, reflections on the bottom of the swimming pool. Maybe not very realistic, but I enjoyed it immensely, and this pen made me happy. And then I made another one with an acrylic pen. Again, the same idea, sort of connecting things. And that was it. And then I moved on to doodling again. This was like a sketch of my cat. And again, I struggled here. I even got angry and made a scratch in this page. I just wasn't clicking with my sketchbook at the time. There you go, I scratched it on this side. I just got angry. I think I had a bad day, or a bad few days, as you can tell. Just kept going anyway, and if you see a gap in my sketchbook, it doesn't mean I wasn't drawing in that time. I work in many different sketchbooks. I also work digitally, so it all counts as long as I make art every day. So hence why the breaks. So it's not, I had an art block without having an art block, if that makes sense. I just wasn't able to draw. If you're an artist and you can relate, drop a message in the comments. Maybe you have a tip for other artists who can kind of learn from your experience and what works for you when you have this sort of moment. For me, persistence and not giving up and still showing up every single day is what helps me personally. But I know for some people it doesn't work. I know sometimes people want a break and need a break. For me, it's not as good to have a break. And another. And after a page that I absolutely hated at the time, comes this. And I enjoyed working on it. And this was quite a quick one compared to the other ones. A lot bigger. Like the pattern is much easier to kind of finish off in one sitting. And yeah, I love the sort of sparkliness of it. And I continued drawing. So this was drawn on location. I was just drawing people, and like this is a box of tissues, a horse from memory, and a few weeks later I came back and filled in the empty spaces with a bit of color. I don't know, I sometimes like to do that just to make my sketchbook feel more colorful. And this was kind of paint, used in the same way, on top of a non-waterproof pen, which kind of makes for a really interesting effect. And yeah, again, this is all in the same place. So I was drawing people eating or queuing up. I was drawing things I was seeing. Like I said, you never run out of things to draw, in my opinion at least. And it's always inspiring to just sit, slow down, and watch people, or watch what's happening, what's there. Maybe there's an ugly thing, and if you draw it, maybe it will, but in the process of drawing it, you will find that it's actually not that ugly. And yeah, drawing people queuing up. And here I just drew a medieval rabbit hair character on this weird snail that's very angry. And I added like a decorative date. I probably should do it more often, it's kind of fun. And then a page of nothing. I don't know, I gave up on this page, I guess. Sticker from Jess Was Here with her old branding. And again, drawing people. So I think that was around my birthday. We went out to town and visited this Korean restaurant, like a fast food place, because I really fancied Korean for my birthday. And I drew people there. This was a person serving us food, and this was just a random customer. And live drawing. Okay, yeah, I go to a local live drawing group, and this was just my warm-up, just trying blind contour drawing, just to kind of get used to the movement and not worrying too much about what it looked like. And yeah, it's a great way to warm up without being precious about what it looks like as a result. And yeah, I'm quite happy with having pages like that. Here I was just I really wanted to draw more with a pencil. I tried a bit of hand lettering and drawing Bridgerton characters. I just felt like drawing them. I think they're very drawable. I just always struggle with doing them, so I enjoyed this simplified version. And I love their dresses. I know they're not historically accurate, but I love their costume design. Everything about Bridgerton, music, soundtrack, the characters, the humor, everything. I love Bridgerton's. And I was rewatching all of it before the new season came out. These stickers are by Yumi Art, I think. Yumi in Color or something. I will pop the name on the screen. I won these last year in a giveaway, and that's how I discovered the artist. And yeah. And I drew a few more characters. I don't know if you can recognize her. That's Penelope. Definitely didn't turn out that close to what she looks like, but when I draw portraits, especially when I'm not spending hours on them, I don't care as much about it looking like the person. I like making sure that it looks like maybe not anatomically correct, but close to what a human would look like, you know what I mean? And I don't even know which character this was, but it was fun. Again, I came back later and filled in the details with some paints. And here is my these are colors from my new watercolor palette. I just bought a few colors that I based all my choices on this turquoise something, cobalt turquoise color, which is really expensive, but I found Rosa Gallery does them for a more affordable price than other brands like Winsor & Newton. And then I tried to match it with different colors, and the aim was for me to be able to paint urban sketching, so urban scenes. And I haven't really done that much, but I love that palette, and every now and then I come back to it. So yeah, here's a cat and a bit of hand lettering with a brush pen. I really love this K, the cool, I think it came out really, really nicely. And here's a Sutton Makers Market. This one was a slow one, which is probably why I drew this cat. But sometimes that happens. It was just bad timing. Yeah, it was an evening market as well. And it was paid for to enter, so it just didn't go as well as we hoped. And I drew a little bit at it. This one I drew from a video. I was just watching someone in the video and I thought, oh, I have to excuse me, my hay fever is killing me right now. Yeah, spring. And I drew this person from the video. I just paused it and drew it. And here I just opened up it's like a book for learning illuminated letters, and in it it's more aimed at younger audience, but I love opening it from time to time and practicing. So that's what that was. It's a really old sticker. I don't even know who made this, but it's kind of cute, so I like occasionally whipping it out and it's like a sticker sheet full of these. I don't know. Holbein factory store in Osaka. I guess I was making a note to make sure to visit it. I didn't like this tree. Sometimes that happens. Probably wasn't warmed up before I started drawing it. And the first one is always rubbish, but that's part of, it's just part of the process and nothing to be annoyed at. Here are some people queuing up. Again, we went out and I love sitting and drawing after we have a bit of food, because when people are not looking at you, there's a lot less pressure and you don't have to stare at them either. This one didn't turn out very well, but yeah, it's quite fun. And when people are queuing up, they're moving a bit less than when they're walking or eating or doing anything else. Yeah, drew someone. Oh, I was with a friend at Koishi, which is like a Japanese restaurant, fast food place, with a friend to celebrate my birthday, and when she went to the loo, I just quickly sketched someone. And yeah, drawing what's in front of me, just a boring pencil sharpener. This one's a washi tape from Beatrice, Beastly Worlds. This character is really cute. Here I went to a local art society, and I have other paintings in a different sketchbook, but these two I just painted really quickly. So we were really meant to paint this picture just once, but I like having miniature paintings in my sketchbooks, and it meant that I could feel less precious because one of the three would have turned out okay, which is why I did that. And it was a tutorial on oil painting, and I used not acrylic wash, like watercolors, Japanese watercolors, or my regular, I can't remember, maybe my regular watercolors. And I tried to make it work without overworking everything. And I'm really pleased with how it turned out. It's nothing to like admire, but I like the pink underpainting. And yeah, that's that. Then I joined an Odd Orange session, and Odd Orange is a brand of, or a company making, a really small one-person company making sketchbooks in, I think, Shropshire, run by Morgan Grice. And she organizes these sketchbook sessions, drawing sessions every month. And one of them is paid and one of them is free every month. And this time we were drawing mugshot photos. And we try to come up with stories for these people. I'm always in two minds about like joking about this, because obviously that was a traumatic experience for someone, whether they were guilty or not. But I play along because, you know, for social reasons. And maybe I'm overthinking it. So we gave them fake crimes. We made up crimes because we couldn't find out. Like, it's quite hard to find out what these people were accused of. So anyway. Miranda from A Poison Ring, and Brad, whom I didn't give a job or fake crime. And this was day 800 for me. I'm now closer to 1,000 than 800, I think. I can't remember exactly, but that was 2 months ago, almost. This was a Jerome. That's not the real name. Angie. Jenny. I think I caught something in her that looks a bit close to what she looked like. Rob. No name. Johnny. It's quite young bloke. And Grandma Jane. And then is it the same day? The day after, I drew myself in pencil, just a little self-portrait. And then the next day, I tried to draw things from memory. So I drew a person from memory, kind of like myself, maybe holding a phone, and a weird horse. I'm not sure what I was aiming. Maybe I was silly on purpose. Then a horse from memory, and a swan. And some hands from memory, but like making up different things, different types of hands and different gestures. Bicycle from memory, that wasn't too bad. A tree, and I filled it in with stars because it was boring. And a car. I still can't draw cars. I'm sure I could if I really sat down and tried, but I don't. And my cat, just sleeping on the ground or his bed, maybe. He's the best. He is the best. He listens. We trained him up very well, and he's quite clever. I think cats are generally clever, but just people don't give them credit. And yeah, he's sweet. And whenever he comes home and kind of gets confused or kind of doesn't know where to sleep, all I have to do is say, "Where's your bed?" And he goes and finds his bed, which is really cute. If he wants to, of course. And I drew what was in front of me, just a bit of hand cream, nothing special, and tried a bit of lettering as well. And here I drew what was in front of me as well. So just a boring, like, I think it's a toothbrush charger, 2 of them, like a plug, an adapter from European to UK, and a European plug. And my cat again. Here I decided to do a few studies. So I was trying to see if I can learn to paint by doing studies, so trying to replicate the painting of someone else. And that's how people study art often, like especially classical art. People would learn from a master, so a person who mastered their art or was a famous painter. They would try and copy their painting. With these, I try to add a bit of my own take on them. And yeah, this is from Wild Pencil, and I really enjoyed it. And I think I wasn't too far off with the colors, especially given that I didn't spend loads of time on this. I was just trying to mix colors as close as possible to the original. And this artist actually often paints beautifully in these sketchbooks, so I also wanted to not use the excuse, oh, this sketchbook isn't really made for watercolor kind of thing. I was trying to embrace this sketchbook. And a drawing of someone queuing up. This is from a packaging I ordered a zine. I got a voucher that I spent for my birthday that I spent on Etsy, just shopping for various zines. And this is from one of these. I don't know who made this washi tape, but it's beautiful. And here we went out and I just stood up next to a bicycle and drew it. And I aimed to be imperfect on purpose. Sorry. I was just trying to draw the bike as loosely as possible. It was kind of an unusual bike, which is probably what drew me to it. And as you can see, like, this pedal is smaller than the one further away, but I kind of like that about it. It's like very not precious, you know? It's probably my best bicycle ever. So yeah, what does that say about me? I don't know, but I love that bicycle. Here is another drawing session with that orange, and we were drawing animals. No, rodents. So this is a beaver. I know that's not how you spell it, but I wanted to say beaver. And squirrel. I think this was like a proper European squirrel, like a ginger one. And porcupine, which I never knew. I never could remember what porcupine was or what it meant, but apparently it's this animal. And then some mice, which I found extremely difficult. I don't know why. I think it's their shapes are very simple, which maybe I could have leaned into and maybe like simplify them more, but there they are. And I redrew them again because I struggled and I was quite quick. And then a cute little rat using my liquid water-soluble graphite and a water vole. And then I drew something in front of me, so this is actually where my phone is right now. So it's stuck onto this gooseneck. And here's a bookshelf with my sketchbooks. And I also joined Art Hang Party. So this is 5th of March now. And we were drawing from photos from Melissa's photos from Tokyo, or from her trip to Japan. She went to a few different places. So this one's Tokyo. And I tried a bit of using just the dark tones to define the shapes, like where the shadows were, or the darker colors. Can't really tell what this was, but it was a good practice. I also drew her drawing, and like this was basically the stream window on YouTube. This was Melissa, her timer, her drawing of this photo. I think this was in Osaka. Check out Art Hang Party, by the way, it's really fun. And I do drawing sessions every Thursday night. I might be able to join it in a minute, but we'll see. And here's from a drawing from a photo in Shibuya. Shibuya is really busy. It's got one of those. Is it Shibuya crossing? Yeah, Shibuya crossing is like the busiest crossing that I've ever seen, and also really fun to look at. And then I kind of looked back and forth between that bicycle just wanted to draw it again. Wanted to ride on the high. It's not the worst, to be honest. I said it's very bad, but it's not the worst. Considering my bicycles usually look really bad. This wasn't too bad. Some ideas for stickers and paintings. This cut, I might redo it again. I actually had a project last year when I was drawing, I started painting 50 mini paintings. I already started selling them because I thought why keep them all at home if I can sell them and use the proceeds to buy more paint or materials. And this one's unfinished, obviously. And I kind of stopped, but because I was very busy, but I want to start again. And I had a frog and a cat like this with a strawberry on their head, and the frog sold in the local shop, so I need to repaint it because I think that spoke to someone. And a cat in a banana, but he looks more like a cat in a courgette. I just thought it was a silly idea. And a frog in a strawberry, you know, just doodles. And this is a sticker idea that I really, really need to do finally, because I think it speaks to me. And if it speaks to me, maybe it speaks to someone else out there. What am I doing with my silly little life? I just like this idea. And a goose, again, from memory, probably. More, I think I traced it from the previous page just to get it out there, because it was the next day. Another goose. What's in front of me? Again, I quite like this because it was quite loose. It's quite loose. I was just sitting on the sofa. I'm always surrounded by art supplies wherever I am. I even bring them to work to potentially draw on my lunch breaks. This is how I started, actually. I was drawing a lot on my lunch breaks. And this was a game day, Garbolombo Day. I don't know, it's an in-joke, I guess. And I drew a monstera that I was seeing, not the best. Also, this is just, I was looking at it and drew the controller. As promised in the intro of this video, I wanted to share a little bit about what inspires me, what makes me tick as an artist. I love nature. For example, as one of the many things that inspire me, I love going for walks in nature, observing, even like those sparkles on the water are just something mesmerizing for me, and I love staring at them, and that kind of drives me to create more. I often draw plants, and you can see bluebells that I've seen recently. I just love staring at nature, animals, pets. I love my cat. My cat is my muse, and I love drawing trees as well. A lot of trees feature in my graphic novel. A very similar scene to this, even, features in my graphic novel, or will feature in it. And now let's open this gate and let's get back into the sketchbook. And this is a self-portrait from a photo taken from below. I just like being weird like that, and I quite like it. Obviously not the most flattering, but that's not the point. And I was wearing my t-shirt called Dakia. And here was a session from Odd Orange, and for some reason I always struggle with those National Geographic, it's like photos from National Geographic, like vintage ones. I just can't. I don't know what it is about it. I just struggle with these. But then maybe someone will look at it and like it, so I don't want to slate this too much. And then I picked up a pencil, and this was so much better. I think I was going to do something with this bear. I think I was going to give him the skirt or something, but then I forgot. The Smithsonian Institution. This was really hard, but I kind of did it justice because it was a hard angle to draw this. Was it a mammoth, maybe? And that's another one from the Smithsonian. And here was just a like a what's it called? Not stone, but like a stone thing at the sea, or like an island, I guess. And I really liked adding the shading and being free with my pencil. This I like more than any other of that session. And a little monkey sitting peacefully. It looks like a statue, but he or she were just sitting on this stone. And is it a crab? I don't know. But we realized halfway through this illustration that There were lots of tiny crabs and it looked really creepy, but I decided to make them uncreepy. I decided to give them smiley faces so that they would look a bit less scary. And I drew a photo from, yeah, just a bit of flowers, actually same flowers from my garden. Nasturtiums, that's the one. But I just used whatever colors I had available, and I didn't care so much about being realistic. Here I drew this. I was trying to go back to drawing with my pen and filling in colors. Yeah, I hope that these are okay. I know YouTube doesn't like boobs. And another sticker from Jess Was Here, apart from being her brand ambassador, for details of which I will leave in the description, because I have a discount code for you. I also love ordering from her, and also I asked, my mom wanted to buy me something for my birthday, so I asked for Jess Was Here clothes because I love them so much. This was Art Hand Party figure drawing. I didn't join it live, so I kind of split it into multiple sessions. I don't know why. I find when I join sessions live, I tend to complete them fully in one sitting, but when I can pause, I don't. Distractions or social media or whatever takes me away from it. I love adding these fun faces into them. I think it adds character. I was trying to be very free. Like obviously this was, well, it was only a minute to draw the entire person. So when we won't talk about this anatomy. And yeah, I just tried to be very free and like add a bit of movement or exaggerate their poses. Very difficult. This one I felt like it was too much time, I think. And because I was used to 1 minute by that time, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 poses of 1 minute, and then we moved on to longer ones. Quite like her pose. And this one was like, you know, when someone's kind of looking deflated. That's that pose. I drew some geese. I drew, again, people queuing up for food and serving up food. This, I'm not sure what happened here. And I drew another horse from memory. Cursed. I drew a little rose from observation. This will always bring me back to that place, because they have like these fake roses. I think it reminds me of Beauty and the Beast. Was there like a feature in the film where there was like a rose enclosed in a glass? It must have been, because why would I remember it? This was just drawing the view outside. I loved the tree. Don't love how it turned out, but it reminds me of sitting there and watching it with my boyfriend. Just a bit of lettering. This is cha or ocha from Japanese. Also apparently Chinese character that means tea. And yeah, just drew that. Drew some people and tissues on the table. Like a boring box of tissues. Like I said, anytime you're anywhere, there is something you can draw. You can draw your own hand, which I've been doing a lot lately. So you can draw a sketchbook. You can draw yourself drawing a sketchbook. You know, you can always find something to draw. It just takes a bit of determination to find it. Here I joined a session with Ruby etc. and London Drawing Group. This one was Fearless Spring, and we started with like drawing these flowers as blobs of color and then adding detail. I really enjoyed using my old Fudenosuke, like it was really running really low on ink, and I quite liked that effect. I never throw these pens away because I love how scratchy and imperfect they are when they're low on ink or almost out of ink. And you can also force open them if you watch a YouTube video. If you search for it, you will find a way to open them and put your own ink in them. And yeah, just drawing, lettering and stuff. Daffodils, spring is here. And I think that's like, what, the second or third day of spring. And then I illustrated a song by What's its name? Music Sounds Better With You, but who sang it? I can't remember. Never mind. And another few frogs. And this one was a session with London. I said another few frogs. London Drawing Group, but not with Ruby, etc. This was a different artist. And I completely forgot the name of the artist. Emma Carlisle. And we drew frogs. And I really enjoyed it. I think this was also blobs, so kind of similar technique, but different subject. And we were encouraged to kind of make a note of our materials. So I used the Pentel pocket brush, Pentel Art brush, Pentel Arts brush pen in yellow, a Tombow brush pen, Fudenowskie, which is also like a brush pen, a Caran d'Ache colored pencil, and a mild liner in violet. And this is the end. This is the end. I am feeling lots of joy. I just decided to draw this frog who looks very sad, but yet is saying he's very happy. And some stickers from small businesses again. And what's here? A few more stickers. Oops. And a washi tape from Pierrot. And a bit of detail about the sketchbook. I hope you enjoyed this sketchbook tour. I hope it was entertaining, or you learned something from it, or you got inspired. I know a few of you said that you were inspired by watching my sketchbook tours. Definitely let me, well, if you want to, and yeah, if you feel happy to, drop me a message in the description, in the comments below, saying what you drew as a result of watching this, or what you're going to draw next. I do love chatting in the comments. I always respond to all of your comments. I just think it's, by responding with comments, it's a less one-sided conversation. And, you know, it's always nice to chat to your art friends. Don't be shy. I love chatting to all of you. I hope you enjoyed this sketchbook tour. And I'm recording this before I record the sketchbook tour because I have a mess on the desk, and that's what's stopping me. And I wanted to share with you what's on my desk and what I've been up to. Some cards. I was just trying to find cards that I recently sold a few cards to someone on Etsy, and the order didn't arrive. Sometimes that happens, very rarely, but I was just looking for the right ones. So that's that. I also just printed some, these are the mini ones. I made these frogs, existential frogs. I have bigger ones as well. These are just like freebies and for mini sticker packs. I also today was at a workshop to print from Tetra Pak. This is a pack, a Tetra Pak, from which we were etching and printing. And this was one of my Tetra Pak plates, I guess you could call it. And the ink is now everywhere, and this is the actual print. They're made out of my sketches of hands from my sketchbook. I'll move that to the side. This was the first print, but the second one I'm showing you. It's just, again, a doodle from my sketchbook. This was my first ever dry point Tetra Pak print. And I was supposed to try out different textures, but I kind of forgot myself and wanted to draw straight away. So that's why. And this was like tracing paper and my original plate as well. This is the packaging from Wood. I also have a few canvases. I would like to go back to my mini canvas project and finish off a few of these that I started. And I also would like to work on bigger canvases, which are ready for me, including even bigger ones. Some business cards. I was restocking them for markets and for the local shop that my stock is at. Speaking of which, I just sold out of these at the local shop, so I need to prepare a few more products for them. That's what I'm doing this weekend. basically what I'm trying to do right now is to do a bit more vloggy style videos, because I would love to do more vlogs, but I'm intimidated by them, and this is my way of kind of showing you a bit of an update. Just a random, today, just a random one, because I would like to share a little bit more of my like art life, because I do a lot of things. And this is mini paintings for my, I'll show you in a second. So these are my mini paintings for events. So I've been doing minis, like mini zines. These are the mini frog and mini spring zine. I can actually show you in detail. I think my cat is meowing outside. Hang on. I'll leave it on because maybe you will hear him. Also, as promised, here's my cat. He is often my inspiration. He's really funny, but also very, very sweet and loving and caring, and he's very clever. He can do a variety of tricks, and I know some of you love seeing him in my videos, so here he is. He also wanted to say, go check out my Etsy shop. This is one way you can support me as an artist if you love this video. So yeah, these are my zines. This was my first mini zine. I basically had some offcuts from when I was making sketchbooks, I think. So I hand cut paper for my sketchbooks. And let me just make sure that you can see them. So this is the little frog. And it's like a concertina zine, so it goes like this. But it's like one piece of paper. Oh, hi there. Oh no, the first one is like, oh, waking up. Oh, hi there. Could you go outside and tell me? The thing is, I really want to know, but I'm just too scared to go and check myself. Is the sun out? Are there flowers? Are there flowers and buzzing things? Oh, how I crave buzzing things. Please tell me, is it spring yet? It was just inspired by spring. It was like, I came up with this idea at a workshop with Ruby, etc. and London Drawing Group. And then at the back, it's like a mini stop motion animations sort of thing, frame by frame. And we have a flower, and that's the end. So that's one. The other one is titled, I have the worst hay fever right now, so apologies for my croaky voice. This one's called Spring. It's spring! Woohoo! Do do do. Sigh. And that's the end of my silly comic. And again, on the other side is the same animation style drawing. So that's what they look like. And what I would like to do is to, because I also have paintings, I'm not going to take it out now because it's already packed up for my next market, which is this weekend. So I don't want to make a mess, but I'm going to remove the washi tape because it's the most satisfying thing, and hope nothing tears. Alright, so here they are. So they're just tiny paintings, and they're originals. And I used mixed media for these. In the past I only used like one type of paint, but I kind of really enjoyed the mixed media aspect of this. And I just painted from my photos. So yeah, I'll be packing them up today into... So I reuse plastic from different types of kinds of packaging. I just reuse it and pack it nicely against like a small thick piece of paper. And I sell them at markets. My next market is the Blooming Good market in Bournemouth at the Patch, but that will have happened by the time you watch this video. So yeah. And yeah, I hope you like this. If you did, don't forget to give me a like and maybe subscribe if you'd like to see more. I will also leave a link at the very end of this video where you can continue watching. And yeah, have a lovely day, artsing, and until next time, bye! So now on the screen you should see a link to the next video, so you can continue watching my sketchbook tours, and I'll see you there. Bye!